Hello, thank you for joining me. When you create a recipe, there might be an instance where not all of your nutrient data is complete. Why? Well, different sources like the USDA, food manufacturers, restaurants, and so forth report different data points. Some may only report mandatory label nutrients, while others may offer more detail. Or in some cases, some of the data was reported before the new labeling laws went into effect, and, for example, added sugars wasn't required. Because of this, we really recommend that you make sure your data is complete for any nutrients you require, especially for mandatory label nutrients if you plan on creating a label from your data. And this tutorial is going to show you how to find the missing data and how to remedy that issue. First, of course, open your recipe, and I have this one on screen. Now I'm going to look for missing data. To do that, use the Spreadsheet report. Go to Reports and click Spreadsheet. Now, the program uses double dashes to indicate where there might be incomplete data. And I see a couple sets of those here. In this tutorial, I'm going to focus on the missing added sugars data for the pears. Now back to the recipe. I can open the pears from within the recipe by right-clicking and selecting Open. Click Nutrients. I have my nutrients by alphabetical order right now, so I can easily find added sugars, and I see that there's no data for that field. I know from lab analysis or from other sources that this ingredient has 2 grams of added sugar, so I will populate the added sugar field with that. Now, if this were a user added ingredient, I would click Save, and that would be the end of it. We would be finished. But this is an ESHA database ingredient, so when I click Save, I get this message. I don't want to continue with the save because the added sugars data will not be saved, and I am back to square one. However, I can instead create a new ingredient with this data and replace the one in my recipe. To do so, I will go to File and click Save As. For now, I'm going to keep the name as is, but add a code to the end to make it easier to search for when I replace it in the recipe. Click Save, and then click OK. And now I'll close that and go back to the recipe. Double click on the pears, which automatically opens the search. And then I see this ingredient that I just created. So I will add that. I don't have to change the amount or measure, and click OK. Now when I return to the spreadsheet, that data is populated. And you would go ahead and remedy the whipped topping data in the same manner, and any other missing data that you find. That's it. That's how easy it is. Thank you for joining me.